One of the viewers commented on my previous show that it was their first time watching the show and that Trump was giving them the bird. So let me clarify, explain the Donald Trump superhero action figure. The bird that he is giving is not towards us or you. It's given towards the media for lying about everything. Lying, first of all, for the fact that he could never, ever become the president. Right up until the day of the election, and even the day of the election, they said he couldn't win. It was impossible. There's no way he'd get enough. There's no path to the presidency for Donald Trump. So lies, 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 lies. And that's what the finger's for. It's to the doubters, to the liars, to the media. And also they continue to lie about Russia and everything else. There's everything. They lie about everything. As you know, as you have seen, as we have shown on this show. There's always something about food in the Starbucks, BK. Well, BK's in the news because I put them in the news. But yeah, BK again is in the news. By the way, I enjoyed another frozen coffee today, though it wasn't at all. I've said before, it really doesn't taste much like coffee. Today it was pink. It tasted like strawberry or raspberry or something. It didn't even taste like coffee at all, but it was delicious. Loved it. Frozen coffee, frozen fake coffee. Fake coffee. It's like fake news. Fake coffee. Okay. Yeah, so today in the news with BK, and this isn't me, this is actually in the news, they're having, I can't make this up, unhappy meals. You know, like McDonald's has Happy Meal. So BK is coming out with a line of unhappy meals. And that's because, quote, no one feels happy all the time. Yeah, well, that's true. Maybe. I think the whole purpose of it is to try to make the kids feel happy, have a happy meal, because life is difficult enough, you know. But, I mean, no one feels like an anti-terrorist all the time, but we don't have terrorist meals. Just saying. Whatever that means. I hate it when people say just saying. Do you know people that do that? Oh, you're an asshole. I'm just saying. Anyway. So, Eric Swalwell. I don't know. Is he running for president? He might have been on that list yesterday. He might have been the 0.01% guy. Maybe he is. I don't know. There's so many. It's hard to keep track. But he says, oh, well, he had a great point. He has a great point. The word woman is not in the Constitution. And that's not right. How unfair is that? That's absolutely wrong. It's discriminatory. It's sexist. It's offensive. Maybe it's even racist. I don't know. Everything's racist. So let's all join Eric Swalwell. I'm thinking we'll have a big group meeting and maybe have a protest somewhere. We'll go to City Hall. We'll have a big protest in front of the White House. And so I made up. So we're gonna get. I'll take my Burger King straw and attach that behind my postage. And here we go. There we go. And we'll protest. We will protest this mockery, this disgusting, discriminatory, sexist, and offensive writing that was put together by our forefathers. How do you like my sign? Isn't it nice? Yes. Let's all protest. That's just not right. One thing wrong, though. Oops. The word man is not in the Constitution either. It's just people. Oops. And you were just about to protest, weren't you? You were going to join me in protesting. Look at this. The Constitution is unconstitutional. It's like my shirt. But people will protest and hang. They will. There's a lot of people that get paid to protest. You don't even have to talk them into it. They're professional protesters. You just give them a sign and pay them money, and they'll go and protest, and it'll be all over the news. And then people like you will start believing, not you, but generally people will watch that on CNN. CNN's really going down, but they'll watch it on MSNBC now. I guess is the hot ticket for the left. They'll watch it on MSNBC, and they will actually think that the Constitution is unconstitutional. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. And they will actually think that the word woman is discriminatorily not in the Constitution, but no one will even explain to them, or like this jackass Sorwell, whatever his name is. There he is, Eric. The word woman isn't in the Constitution. Oh, that's wrong. First of all, that would be offensive if you just had man and woman. How about all the other 75 different gender classifications? We're going to put them all in. Eric, you left them out. That was offensive. That's really offensive, especially according to them. According to them, it's ultra offensive. So, yeah, keep things in perspective whenever you hear anything. So, U.S. informant reportedly tied to probe Papadopoulos on Russia ties seduced him during campaign. That's the title. So what happened was Trump, again, was right. He said that his staff was, or he and his staff were being spied on. The informant tried to seduce him as part of the bizarre episode. The FBI sent a woman using the alias Azra Turk to meet Papadopoulos at a London bar. Papadopoulos saw Turk 3 times in London, once over drinks, another over dinner, and then once with Stephen Halper, the Cambridge professor who has been a longtime FBI informant. Papadopoulos said Turk didn't strike me as a Cambridge associate at all, and noted that her English was very bad. The professor liked to introduce me to young, beautiful women. So maybe Papadopoulos had a good time, but he's not a Russian spy. So the FBI were spying on him. Unbelievable. Again, Trump was right. He was being spied on, and but you heard in the media, oh, he said he spied. You can't say that. No, you can say the truth. It's okay. It's okay to say the truth, really. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler likened President Trump to a dictator and threatened the Justice Department leadership with contempt. Let me read to you what this traitor said. The President of the United States wants desperately to prevent Congress from providing any check whatsoever on even the most reckless decisions. The challenge we face is that if we don't stand up to him together today, we risk not being able to stand up to any president in the future. Stand up to him. No, it should be supporting him and stop lying and saying all these false accusations like he's a Russian spy. This guy's a Russian spy? My ass. So what's been going on is that they have the Mueller report, and the AG Barr, has released like 90% of it to the public and 99% of it to Congress. And they're saying, oh, you didn't release all of it. Well, a lot of it is confidential, ongoing investigations and things like that. 90% was released to the public, 99% released to them, and the other 1% they're making a big deal about. So what are they doing? They're calling him back into Congress. They did it today. And he said, no, I'm not going back. He said, I'll go back for another hour of interrogation, but that's it. but they wanted another full 8 hours, even though he's not even required to testify at all. So here's the one of the Democrat representatives at the hearing. Now, again, the witness at the hearing isn't even there, but they have the hearing anyway. And this is the Democrat guy. He's there. He brought a bucket of chicken. Somehow that's supposed to impress me. I'm not impressed by that at all. Though I like KFC. It doesn't always agree with me, KFC, but I love it. I love it. Something about it, especially the extra crispy. They stopped making the extra crispy for some reason, or maybe it's a regional thing, but allegedly they brought the extra crispy back. So I'm hoping to check that out sometime soon. Extra crispy, very nice. They did have the extra crispy spicy, the spicy extra crispy they kept, but they got rid of the regular extra crispy for some reason. But again, it's supposed to be back, so I hope to hook up with KFC. Maybe this guy, I bet this guy has he probably owns stock in KFC, or they paid him to do that. Probably. He should be investigated. A Mueller investigation. Millions and millions of dollars should be invested in investigating this KFC conspiracy between this balding guy and the chicken. Bernie Sanders floated a conspiracy theory. CIA involvement in domestic bombings. This is no lie. You can't make this stuff up. Crazy Bernie. This guy's a nut. He's absolutely crazy. So Bernie Sanders once suggested that a string of letter bombs and other attacks in the United States may have been instigated by the United States government to discredit those seeking political change. I don't see the correlation there, but I don't know. I mean, if there's some kind of bombing that's going to somehow discredit political change, I think that would kind of incite and enhance political change. However, he says the government is the one who is doing the terrorist bombings to discredit those seeking political change. Anyway, what he said was government agencies like the CIA may in fact be responsible. He does that. He says, in fact, may, in fact. Why doesn't he just say government agencies like the CIA may be responsible? But he likes to say that, in may, in fact. Like that means, I don't know. Maybe it's just, but he does that. He says a lot. He says that a lot. Whenever he gets I don't know, stumbling, he starts stumbling around, and then he gets hit by a really difficult question. Then he'll say, well, in fact, and it won't be answering the question. He'll be talking about some different topic to try to subvert away from the question and say, in fact. Yeah, but that fact has nothing to do with the question, Bernie. And we see that. Whenever you say, in fact, we know you're not talking about the topic that we're supposed to be talking about. You're diverting. We know. So you're, in fact, diverting. Anybody that thinks change is going to come because of bombings or terrorist activity is either extremely stupid, crazy, or an agent of the U.S. government. Again, it's so nonsensical. I don't, again, there's no correlation here. This sentence alone, it's just, you think about it, what does this mean? Quote, Bernie Sanders, quote, anybody that thinks change is going to come because of bombings or terrorist activity is either extremely stupid, crazy, or an agent of the U.S. government. Does that mean he is the one that's stupid because he thinks that bombing is going to influence the change? Anyway. The Sanders campaign did not immediately return a request for comment from Fox News, but a campaign spokesman told the caller, quote, while Donald, again, you might as well say in fact here, quote, this is what they said. While Donald Trump raves about a deep state coup and routine routinely invokes violence when discussing his political opponents, Senator Sanders is proud to have always supported peaceful political change. He should have said, in fact. I know, but it wasn't him. It was someone else saying it. If it was Bernie, he would have said, Donald Trump raves about deep state coup and, in fact, routinely invokes violence when he, in fact, discusses his political opponents and, in fact, is proud. That's what he would do. But listen, he's saying here that he supports. He's proud to have, at the end, he says he's proud to have always supported peaceful political change. I don't believe that a coup involving Obama, the FBI, the DOJ, and the media against our duly elected president is peaceful change, Bernie. That's a coup. That's not peaceful. That's very unpeaceful. But that's what he's supporting. He's supporting that. He's part of that coup. He's collaborating with them. He wants to impeach based on nothing. A duly elected president doing an awesome job, and he's part of the coup. That's not a peaceful change, Bernist. I just came up with that. It was pretty good, huh, Bernist? Okay, we've been talking about Baltimore quite a bit, and what's in the news today? Well, you knew this was coming. I don't know how many episodes ago it was, but Baltimore mayor resigns due to healthy holy book. So I brought this back to you. This woman here, one of Baltimore's finest, she made all those books, and didn't make it. She was supposed to make, 100,000 of them, but she only printed like 50,000 and took in $900,000 in sales, selling it to the state or the city, and using her power in order to profit. FBI, and I showed you the picture of the FBI and raiding her house. And yeah, she resigned today. So that's good. Excellent. Yeah. Woohoo. Sometimes there's justice. It's good. Elhan Omar. This is the girl who doesn't like America, who said that the terrorist bombing 9/11, was just a bunch of guys. Some people did something like that. She complained that the U.S. is bullying Venezuela. So here's one of the richest countries in the world, actually, just 20 years ago or so. Massive resources, and they were very prosperous, and they went socialism. And now the people, they have no food, they have no medicine, they have nothing, and they're all dying. And so she's against anything changing over there, because she's choosing. Well, according to Mike Pence, he accused her of choosing socialism over freedom. But really, he should just say it. She's just a traitor. She's not only choosing socialism, but she's choosing a dictator that just rigged the election, and she's siding with that, and is against any regime change. This woman is one of your representatives in Congress, so be careful with her. The doctors are in the news again. They're always in the news. They were in the news. So protections expanded for doctors. But this is the kind of protection that the left wants. This is giving them conscience decision-making freedoms. So if someone goes to them and wants some kind of procedure and says, I want a late-term abortion, for instance. The doctor now will, because of his conscience, doesn't have to say it's his religion, but his conscience decision, can decide not to do that procedure. So that's giving the doctor some choice in how he acts. And so it's interesting because people, well, it happens, this is for everything. Let's say it's basically a customer and versus the store, the supplier, where a person is saying, say a company makes cups. They make cups. And the person goes in and says, I want a pen. And the company says, oh, we don't make pens. We make cups. And then the person says, no. Pens are legal. I have rights. You have to make me a pen. And the guy says, yeah, but we don't make pens. We make cups. No, but I have rights. You have to make me a pen. That's legal. Pens are legal. You have to make me a pen. But no. Just make cups. So basically it's what the person's asking for is legal, maybe. It's a legal instrument, what they're wanting. But you can't force someone to do it. You can't force someone to do that thing that you want them to do, even though it's a legal thing. So this is very interesting. Because again, the left, historically, is for the doctors. Except for, as I pointed out to you in I think it was my last program, they went against the doctors when it came to, what was it? They said that black women aren't treated as good as white women by doctors. They were going against the doctor and saying the doctors were racists. So they went against the doctor there. So you can't be for everything. I've said this a million times to you people. Hopefully it's starting to penetrate. It's the whole idea. Over time, I'm hoping that there will be some penetration of thought into your mental minds. And again, here we go. We have the doctors being now given more rights and options as to what procedures they're going to do. And should we force them to do procedures or not? Well, the left is always generally for the doctor. But here they're going to go against the doctor because they want the doctors, even if it's something they don't like to do, don't want to do, don't do, they want them to be forced to do anything that the left wants them to do. That's in line with their agenda. For the most part, abortion, but it could be other things too. It's not just abortion. It could be sex changes. It could be, well, I don't want to think about it. It's too much. But this is something, this is very interesting. And, should anyone be forced to do anything? Or does that person have, individuals have choice as to what they do or don't do? I kind of like the freedom and the choice thing. I don't like forcing people to do things they don't want to do, especially if it's truly something that's offensive to them. I mean, really offensive, whether it be religion or otherwise. Think about that. Okay, the CDC, Center for Disease and Control, titled, Stop Washing Your Raw Chicken. Raw chicken is often contaminated with Campylobacter bacteria, and sometimes with Salmonella and Clostridium perfringens bacteria. If you whack undercooked chicken, that's what it says. If you whack undercooked chicken or other foods or beverages contaminated by raw chicken or its juices, you can get foodborne illnesses, which is also called food poisoning. Stop wetting your chicken.